Hey everyone, Golden Ninja 3000 here again. Today I'm back with my weekly WandaVision review. This is for episode 7 titled Breaking the Fourth Wall. Watch out, there will be spoilers ahead, so go watch the episode if you haven't done that already. So to start things off, I know some people were disappointed by this episode. I don't understand that at all. I was disappointed by episode 6, but this one was very satisfying for me because we did finally get answers to stuff, whereas 6 just kept teasing us. Personally, I do think the episode got off to a bit of a slow start, but I don't attribute it to like episode seven's fault. I blame episode 6 because episode 6 ended on that huge cliffhanger, and as I expected, there was absolutely no resolution. We don't pick up from that cliffhanger at all. We just jump ahead to the next day. And I don't like that, which is, again, why I think episode 6 should be longer. And to me, that just makes episode 6 even more disappointing. It doesn't make episode 7 disappointing. The sitcom was great because I have seen Modern Family episodes, so to have that mockumentary talk to the camera style, it was a lot of fun. And I do really like how deadpan and like downbeat Wanda was, although she was like a bit nihilistic, like especially when she was telling the children that like nothing matters, everything is meaningless. Although I did think it was hilarious when she was like, if your father's not here, there's nothing I can do about it. I also really liked Vision and Darcy. Them together, that's just such an odd pairing, but I think it really worked. I liked their circus scenes. I'm glad that Darcy got to be in the sitcom a little bit, and Vision's talking to the camera moments were very funny. However, I think that the funniest moment in the entire MCU, not exaggerating here, is when Agnes said, "I don't bite," and then she went to the camera and she was like, "I actually did bite a kid once." That was just so funny. That was definitely like the funniest part of the episode for me. But I do just like what they did with the sitcom here because I can relate to it more since it is, more from my time. However, I completely understand everyone saying that it was like a little bit slower, it's not their style, because that kind of mockumentary TV show style, it really isn't for everyone. And I do have to say, I do think like they just spent a little bit, it was a slow start, like I said, because between Vision and Darcy and then going back and forth to Wanda alone, I get how like the first half of the episode was a little bit rocky. Talking about specifics though, let's start with Wanda. Like I said, I really liked her in this episode, but I don't really understand kind of how she got to this point where she's like nothing matters anymore. It's like you fought so hard to expand the reality in the last episode, so now why are you just like it doesn't matter, like I don't care anymore. I thought that was weird that like she didn't go looking for Vision. I also think it's really weird how everyone just accepts that Pietro's an imposter. Like Vision was like, "Who was that imposter Pietro?" And it's like, how do you know that he's an imposter? You shared one scene with him in episode 6. Even Wanda was like, "That man's not your uncle." And I'm like, when did you guys figure this out? So things like that really bothered me because it's like you didn't show her being suspicious over him at all. But again, that's something that they should have shown in episode 6, not episode 7. Other than that, I really liked Wanda, especially that moment when she was talking to the interviewer and they like talked back at her. I just thought that was great, and Elizabeth Olsen did a fantastic job acting like Claire Dunphy from Modern Family. Now for Monica. I have to say, I never thought Monica would have this prominent of a role in WandaVision. She's basically the second lead character after Wanda, and I'm really happy about that because seeing her get powers was amazing. I'm really glad that like she failed to get through in like the armored transport. And I just love that scene when she charges into the wall, like without caring about what'll happen to her. Because a lot of people point out, so many superheroes get their powers from accidents or experiments. Monica's getting powers by choosing, like as a direct result of her own actions. Like she's choosing to go through the barrier, knowing that it's going to change her and like rewrite her DNA, and she's doing it anyway. And so I really love to see that. And again, I think her powers, like the way that they manifested, were just really cool. Like the way her eyes lit up, the way that she can kind of like see like the electromagnetic spectrum and stuff. And then how she had that epic superhero landing in her argument with Wanda. And that's why I didn't want to talk about Wanda anymore, because I really love that scene between the two of them. And just Teyana Paris is knocking it out of the park as Monica. And I just really hope that we get some like proper superhero action in the next episode, because I'd really love to see her and Wanda like actually fight. And then finally, to talk about like the biggest thing from the episode, it would be that Agnes is revealed to be Agatha Harkness. We've all been expecting this for quite some time. I did have my doubts last week just because of her whole scene with Vision in the car, but she's a fantastic actress, Catherine Hahn and Agatha Harkness, because that reveal, even though, again, we've all known that this had to be coming since like 2019 because there are literally set pictures of Catherine Hahn in like 1600 Salem, like dressed as a Salem witch. But I'm just so thrilled that like the reveal was still satisfying. Her magic being like that dark, like purplish black is just so cool looking. I have no idea what she did to the twins. I'm really worried about them. But I really hope that we get to see them as teenagers before like this series ends. And just her evil lair, like she has an evil lair. Like no Marvel villain has an evil lair. The closest we have is like people that have ships like Thanos, and I guess Thanos also has his floating rock in space. But like that's not a lair the way that like Agatha has a lair. And so I'm really excited about that. It was awesome to see like Wanda get mind controlled the same way that she's done it to other people like Tony Stark. And I can't wait to get more of Agatha's backstory. That song where they like revealed that it was Agatha all along, I think that that song is like the best thing that the MCU's ever done. Like WandaVision is such a cool show that they can do something like that. And yes, it's a little ridiculous, but it also works so well for the show, and it's just so funny. So I really cannot wait to find out more about Agatha and kind of how this all started with her and Wanda. As for my other theories, I do think Mephisto is still coming, maybe not in WandaVision. I don't really want him in WandaVision anymore. I would like Agatha to be the main villain. But if she's trying to summon him or if she's working for him, I think that that could work out pretty well. The reason I still think he's coming is because the fly on the wall, or I think it's supposed to be a cicada actually, but I'm calling it a fly. When Wanda notices that, the first time Mephisto appeared in the comics, he appeared as a fly. And secondly, down in the basement in the lair, there's actually a little devil face carved onto like every one of those pillars. So I definitely think that Agatha has a connection to Mephisto, or maybe to Nightmare. But I do hope that we get like a little tease of him in an end credit scene for the finale, and then we see him as the main villain in Doctor Strange 2. I also want to talk about the Nexus commercial. That was a perfect ripoff of like modern day commercials where like they're selling you this medicine, but then there's all these problems and like the side effect's always death. However, Nexus in the comics can refer to a couple different things. So there's the Nexus of all realities, which is like where the multiverse intersects, and it's like a portal to any reality you want. That's what I think this pill is referencing. That's what I hope it's referencing, because that would be the most interesting to me. However, Wanda's also a Nexus being in the comics right now, and that means that the multiverse cannot function without her. Like, if she dies, like, the multiverse will collapse. I don't like that as much because, honestly, even though she's my favorite MCU character, I don't think that she should ever be that important in the movies. That's just so much pressure for, like, one person, and I think it's just too complicated. So I'd really prefer if that's just a reference to, like, a place where you can enter any reality in the multiverse from. As for Lego ideas from this episode, you guys know what I'm going to say. I want Agatha's Lair as a Lego set. I want a $30 Lego set of Agatha's Lair exactly like the Sanctum Sanctorum set that they made for the 2016 Doctor Strange movie. Like, just give me a couple of those pillars, those archways. You can give me cabinets filled with her knickknacks, and then, like, that magic book of hers. And then minifigures of Wanda, Agatha, and then, like, throw in the twins or something. That's perfect. Actually, throw in Monica, because she did appear in that end credit scene with fake Pietro. That would be my dream scenario, because, again, I just think that that would lend itself super well to a Lego set like the Sanctum Sanctorum, where it's a small play set, but you could also build in some random action features. Like, you can have the, like, opening doors and, like, just exploding pillars or something. However, I don't think that that's where Lego's going to go unless that's like a super significant location in the last two episodes. The other thing I'd like to see is a Monica minifigure in that like comic book style outfit, because she was wearing like the black and white color that she's known for in the comics, even though it's not really a superhero suit yet. If we get a minifigure of Monica, that's definitely the outfit that I want to see her in. Lastly, the circus could also make a good set. Again, in a dream world where we would get a lot of WandaVision sets, I think like a $50 circus set with like Darcy Vision and then just throw in the rest of the characters. I think that that would be really cool, because circuses aren't something that Lego does often, but it could be like pretty interesting subject matter for them. So that's pretty much it for this video. As you guys can tell, I really enjoyed episode 7 a lot more than episode 6, I want to say, just because I really love that ending and like Agatha and everything, and then getting Monica and seeing Monica get powers. It was just a really satisfying episode for me in a way that episode 6 just wasn't. So I can't wait to see where the series goes from here. We only have 2 episodes left. I don't really know how they're going to tie this all up, but I'm really hoping that they start getting longer, because even though this was satisfying to me, I still think it was a little bit short, and I really want to see us get hour-long WandaVision episodes. So that's it for today. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and check out my website, goldenninja3000.com. I'll see you guys with more videos soon. Bye for now.